Hello everyone, welcome to In Progress episode 4. It's been a while since we did this. I think this is the fourth episode on our audio recording, and you're listening to In Progress with Juliet, a space where we slow down to make sense of growth, identity, and the quiet power of becoming. Here we speak with softness but never without depth. Let's begin. It's been a while since I recorded something, and whatever I'm recording, I'll record part 1 and I'll get to part 2. But for now, we'll do part 1. So on today's episode, the topic we're gonna talk about is hustle culture and human connection. So today we are unraveling something that's been silently reshaping our relationships, our rhythms, and even how we define success, the hustle culture. This grind until you drop mindset has become so normalized that rest feels like laziness and softness is mistaken for weakness. But what is that really costing us, really, guys, by the way? And how does the obsession with doing rob us from the beauty of simply being? I mean, right now we are barely existing as human beings. We're just doing and proving and chasing. It's annoying. So in today's episode, we explore how hustle culture disrupts human connection, fuels imbalance between our masculine and feminine energy, of which I think that section is what I wanted to talk more about in part 2. And why reclaiming softness is not only revolutionary, it's necessary. Now, guys, let's talk about it. First of all, we all define hustle culture differently. It's we've made it to be the it thing. It defines most of us as we, grow into adulthood. And one thing I think I love about existing in my generation, Gen Z, of course. I know millennials and, boomers and Gen X have been like, oh, Gen Zs are lazy, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like, I think one thing they also admire about us is we know what we want, the amount of productivity we need at work, and how we are not ashamed or embarrassed into taking breaks when you feel like emotionally you can't, handle the job. I mean, it's a great thing. I feel like it's a great thing, and that's why we are so huge on how our headspace and how you are psychologically and emotionally. So let's talk about why we confuse worth with productivity, right? We know what worth is. Worth is, let's say, what you feel like adds value to you as a human being, of which I feel like the fact that you're a human being, you're already worthy of everything. I mean, we are created in the image and likeness of God. So your productivity, it's more of what do you bring on the table. Let me just say it like, what do you bring on the table? So we were taught directly and indirectly that to be valuable, you must constantly do. That rest is indulgent and being busy means you are important. From school to adulthood, praise is tied to performance. You are so hardworking. Oh, keep grinding. No pain, no gain. And over time, we internalize this. If I'm not producing, I don't matter. And I feel that's why many of us, as we are young, we forget that we exist in an unstable economy, an unstable society. Everything is so unstable that it will be so hard for us to get stability. And that's why we are struggling even when it comes to getting jobs. And without that, now you feel like you're not worthy. You're just, I don't know how to describe this, but most of us are falling into depression because of we attach our worth to our productivity, like I've mentioned. So this is especially harmful to both energies because we get to thrive in being. Like I said, we should first of all measure our worth by just being alive and being human. First of all, you don't need to be in constant motion and you don't need to over-identify because you are made to feel like you're supposed to be doing this and that. And I feel as if this hustle culture, mostly when it comes to women and men, for women, we thrive in being, receiving, and intuition, but not constant motion. But for men, they end up over-identifying with provision, achievement, success, and making failure feel like identity loss. Oh my God, especially for the men, it's worse. It has worse effects on them. So in hustle culture, value equals output. But in real life, your worth is not a project. You don't need to be busy to be deserving. Now, guys, so how do you reclaim your natural rhythm? Reclaim your natural rhythm. It starts with unlearning urgency. It means listening to your body before your calendar. Honoring your need to rest without guilt. Never feel guilty for resting. Let me tell you, I've grown in a household where if you were found napping during the day, Jesus, oh my God, the insults, you might even be beaten. And like I said, this thing started from the way our parents, trained us. It's unhealthy though. Letting yourself flow, not just function. Redefining success as alignment, not just achievement. It's returning to the parts of yourself that don't need a deadline to be valid. Slowness, creativity, presence. I mean, guys, hustle culture has even taken our authenticity away. Nobody's authentic these days. We are just copycatting. That's why we are picking the easy ways to achieve everything, which is what everybody else is doing. So there's no more creativity these days. Soft mornings, deep breaths, quality time, a life that feels full, not just fast. Oh God, I hate fast life. I'm so scared of it. Though I admit I'm now in it right now because I'm now in a new city. Yeah, so it's a whole thing, but I'm catching up. But it hasn't been easy. We are not meant to hustle every season. Nature doesn't bloom all year, and neither should you. We have 4 seasons in a year or what? So, meaning not every day has to be the same. There's beauty in cycles. There's power in the pose. Reclaim your rhythm. You're allowed to move, differently. And like I said, hustle culture, when I'm talking about bringing back your rhythm, hustle culture drains our bodies and it slowly disconnects us from each other. And apart from talking, I was avoiding to talk about it in terms of masculine, feminine. Now I want to talk about it in terms of the relations we need to create. I mean, you're human beings. You're meant to socialize. You are meant to interact. We are meant to crave connection. You are meant to crave touch and just being near each other. I mean, in the race to achieve, prove, and outperform, we stop seeing people. Seeing, not just seeing of, I'm seeing a man, I'm seeing a guy, I'm seeing my friend. No, it's beyond that. Everyone becomes a transaction, a step, or a competition. Conversations get shorter, smiles become rare, presence disappears. I mean, oh God. We've reached a point where even dating some type of people or class now becomes an achievement. We've dehumanized each other. Sad. We are always rushing to the next task, the next goal, the next version of ourselves. But in the process, we lose touch with the present moment and the people in it. We live, but at the end of the day, we are gonna die. We live to die. So it won't even matter. No, that's the sad bit. And that's one thing. And I've always believed that there is no enough money in this world. There's nothing like enough money. So meaning the thought of where you wanna tell yourself, I'll chase and maybe, consider relationships or consider family when, I have enough. There is no enough. It's like chasing the wind. So it's like till eternity, and we're not meant to live till eternity. Hustle culture convinces us that time is money. So giving time to someone starts to feel like a loss. Slowing down for someone feels inconvenient. And the price you have to pay for community is inconvenience. Say that with me. The price you have to pay for community is inconvenience. What is community? Community can be the friends you've created. Community can be your people. Community can be your family, community can be the people you date, the person you're seeing, blah, and all that. But we don't wanna be, I don't know how to explain it. And you feel like somebody's like, I'm busy. So it's like creating time for someone. You feel like, oh, you should have been doing something important that adds you money. Like we've equated everything to, he wasted, like, even hanging out with those people is wasting time. At that time, I could have even made some money. We are so market-minded, and that's something I think hurts me as a human being who wants to be better. But human connection can't thrive in urgency. It needs patience, attention, stillness. It needs care that isn't scheduled, love that isn't rushed. We all thrive. We all crave for connection, guys. That's something we can't run away from. We are social beings. We feel, we have emotions. No matter what you do with yourself, no matter how busy you get to be, at the end of the day, you'll come back to the house and you'll feel the silence, the emptiness, and you'll crave touch, you'll crave conversations, you'll crave all that. So, and all that doesn't just come at once or immediately. It takes work, and that's why it needs patience, it needs attention, it needs stillness. Relationships weaken when presence is replaced by performance. Now, all we are people in masks, wearing different masks, performing in life, sadly. We start valuing people for what they can do, not who they are. Come to think of it, we've reached a point where both men and women, we are like, oh, before you come into my life, what do you bring in the table? And funnily enough, bringing things in the table, apparently it's what, like, money-wise. We are not even looking at somebody with a good heart. We're not even checking in if the person is caring. You're not even checking in how emotionally stable this person is. You're not checking in. I mean, there's a lot when it comes to value. It's not just monetary. Money comes and goes. Yeah. Now friendships have become surface level. That's why you hear a lot of, fake friends. Like, we only want to hang around with somebody because he or she has some beneficial things that I need, which is so bad. We are so self-centered, we are selfish. Romance now feels like a burden. That's why many people are like, relationships will drag me down. Let me focus and get money. Instead of chasing guys, let me chase the bag. Men will slow you down. You won't even still have a career. Guys, oh my God. Today I've talked about something about being so into ourselves and so self-absorbed that we behave like we gave birth to ourselves, like we brought ourselves on this earth. But it takes two to tangle. It took your mom and your dad to socialize, to create time for each other, listen to each other, we quarrel, fight to have you and bring you and raise you and put you on this earth. Now, who the hell told you you're just like a stone or something? It's a lie. And family becomes a background noise we barely notice. When it comes to family, it's a whole topic. I can't, get into it so much because sometimes family can be a good or a bad thing, honestly. Same to friendship, same to romance. It's just you knowing your people, and when you identify them, just do what it takes to maintain them and keep the relationships. We forget that we are not just here to hustle. We are here to coexist, to relate, to love, to nurture and be nurtured. True success includes connection, and in the end, the deepest peace isn't found in what we built. It is found in who we became while building and who we chose to hold close all along the way. I think this topic is close to my heart because the more I'm growing, the more I'm realizing I'm craving for companionship, I'm craving for friendship, I'm craving for just having a community, creating my own. That is like, being a mom and having a family. And there are things that in this hustle culture, when you mention it, you're seen as somebody who is not focused. Like, you don't, like, why are you not thinking about being a millionaire? Are you okay? So we've demonized it to make it look like it's a bad thing. But I feel like I said, we can't live as if our ancestors chose whatever life you're choosing right now, we could have not existed, or could not be enjoying whatever you're enjoying right now. So that shows how selfish we are as a generation. So, and hustle culture is loud, and it glorifies non-stop productivity, long hours, sleepless nights, and constant movement. I feel as if I'm one person who always advocate for rest. I like somebody who, in as much as, yes, I know I have to go to work, look for certain money, because there's bills exist. The bills are not gonna pay themselves. But do I know when to pause and breathe? Do I know when to create time for the people who matter, for the things that matter? Do I know when to pause even for myself and listen to my body and just take a break and not feel guilty or bad about it? Because even in this hustling thing, when you die, your replacement when your body is still not even that cold in the mortuary, your replacement is always already there. So never feel like, don't feel like resting is being lazy. Never feel guilty. So here's what we don't talk about. Hustle culture is harming, both of us. And we are abandoning our nature to, prove a point, to a point where even women and men, I think it's also part of the reason why women and men are into competition and are against each other, because now we are using that to prove who is superior. Sadly, that is a topic I'll talk about later. So hustle culture says don't fail, just do. But humans aren't machines. We need rhythm, not just routine. Like we need, how music fails, not just something you wake up, do, come, wake up. It's kind of hard. We need rest, not just results. We need to feel safe being, not just doing. When we live only in hustle, we silence intuition. We forget to breathe, to nature, to simply exist without proving anything. Hustle culture has even taken away our morals, our sense of reasoning, guys. You're just doing. You don't even sit down and think about the consequences of something. Not just to yourself, but to people around you. I think that's why we have reached a point where you can say, oh, yes, I've dated this person for 1 year, but you know what? I've gotten something huge somewhere. That job is more important than this person. This person, I don't know, you just sort yourself. I'll, chase my dream. It's okay to chase your dreams, but don't overlook the importance of support, the importance of having someone to hold you, the importance of having someone to see you, understand you, somebody to even, you can come back and even tell stuff about whatever you're doing. I don't think life is that interesting if you get to experience it yourself. I think it's not meant to be like that, or else maybe God would have created Adam and left him to be on his own, but he decided to bring him a companion. He saw that he was lonely. So this is something even God himself sensed. He was like, in as much as I am God and that this man has me, it's not enough. It's not enough for him to survive on his own. Let me give him somebody. I know the part of companion, the part of where God brought Eve to Adam has been made to look like his miss. I don't think that's the case. I feel as if we both need that. Eve was created for Adam, Adam was created for Eve. We've been created for each other. That's why there is family. That's why women, we give birth. I think that's why there is that whole thing of we procreate and procreate, meaning we are created out of each other for each other to coexist. Something we can't outrun as human beings, despite how many tall buildings we'll build, despite how many battles we'll go fight, despite how much money you'll chase on this earth. On your own, you'll be sad, no purpose, and so we forget to breathe. So true alignment isn't found in constant grind. It is found in balance, in knowing when to act and when to flow, when to lead, when to receive, when to go hard and when to soften. Because power doesn't come from burnout, it comes from wholeness. Being productive has made us just learn how to give. You're so used to just giving, doing, until you're not used to receiving. When you receive, you're shocked. It's like, oh, okay, somebody thinks about me. Oh, there's somebody who cares. Like it's like it's something new, but that is how life is supposed to be. It's you give and receive, you give. It's give and take kind of game, I think. But we've conditioned ourselves into giving, and it becomes unhealthy, especially the way as we've conditioned our male partners to coexist with us. Honestly, I feel it's unfair. I know a man's job is to provide and all that, but when it comes to the provision bit, I'll go biblical once more. It's in the family setup. Like, honestly speaking, it's the man fending for himself, his wife, and his kids, or his wife. But then, like I've said, we've dehumanized each other to a point of you look at a person like, oh, I mean, if you can't pay my rent, then I don't want you. If you can't, do me shopping, I don't want you. If you can't buy me food, I don't want you. We've put value of money to value of people hand in hand. But you can't compare life. You can't compare somebody's heart to a price tag. That's why, in as much as you'll be showered with all of the money, the spoils, you still feel some type of way. You'll need touch. You'll need genuine touch. You'll need genuine hugs. You'll need somebody you can be vulnerable with. You'll need to be seen. You'll still crave connection. And you'll go out there looking for it. And, trying to cover up like money is the it. I mean, anyway. So maybe it's not in the hustle, but in the stillness that we truly begin to meet ourselves and each other. I think I'm so huge on connection and loving, and I don't know. I don't think there's any amount of hurt or heartbreak. I've experienced pain actually from a young age, long story. And despite whatever things I've gone through or whatever life has thrown at me through people, even the people who are close to me, family, it has never made me feel like I have to be cruel to somebody. I mean, we are all human beings, man or woman, whoever. We're all human beings at the end of the day. It goes down to, we go back to the basic of we are all human beings. We feel pain, we cry, and that when you have if you move around such a thought, you'll be more considerate and even more kind. So thank you for joining me on In Progress with me, of course, Juliet. And if today's episode stirred something in you, take a moment to rest, reflect, and maybe soften. Until next time, stay in progress. Ciao, guys.